Welcome to my TED Talk. My name, dang, this John Laggy? What you doing? Come on. Welcome to my TED Talk. Bro, is this still lag? My name is Brandon Scott, and I am a day trader. I am an aspiring full time day trader. And today, what we're going to talk about are the four components to trading. Day trading, obviously. So, I want to talk about the first thing, and I wouldn't even, I don't know what to rank these in terms of importance because they're all so important and they all work together. First is showing up, of course. Of course, showing up is the main thing when it comes to day trading. Now, me personally, I day trade futures and I day trade from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. So, if I'm waking up to trade at 7:30, I actually need to be up at 7 o'clock. So that's where it starts, right? Now, I have to wake up at 7 a.m. or a little earlier, whatever it is, and do a simple, but super effective morning routine. Now, the first thing I do is make my bed. Now, this might be the most important thing when it comes to my personal vices or my personal setbacks because I tend to hop right back into bed if I'm waking up and, trying to get to the charts. I got to trade. Yo, I'm gonna grab my laptop if it's within arm's reach, and I'm gonna get right back into the bed. But now, since I made my bed, I got up and I made my bed. It's clean. I don't want to hop back in and mess it up anymore. Next thing I do is wash my face, brush my teeth, of course, right? And then I pray, and then I get on the charts. So after that, we're getting on the charts and we're just journaling, seeing what is the play of the day, what's a possible play of the day. I have a few different instruments that I trade, so from there, I'm just seeing like which ones because there might be a few that could have a possible setup throughout the day. So I set my alerts and I say which ones look fine. Just doing my technical analysis for the day. Um, so that's number one. Number two, take your edge. Now, this is something that I haven't been struggling with for the past couple of months. Taking my edge has actually been something that I'm very proud of. I'm like, wow, I've been taking my edge. I know when my setup is occurring. So I'm not going to take something that isn't part of my plan because it just makes no sense to do that, right? Now, I just take a trade that goes with my plan, be patient for it, enter in the right spot. Now, that's half of it, though. That's half of it. Because you can take a trade that goes with your plan, but if you don't do number three, which is executing on your plan, then you're going to be kind of cooked. You got to make sure you properly execute. So that is your risk management. That is your stop loss and take profit. Make sure it's in the right place. Um, and then make sure like you follow your rules for reentry just in case you lose. Or if your goal is to take another trade, if this one loses, make sure you stay on the charts. You got to properly execute. So step two and step three, they intertwine, but none of them would work without step one. They wouldn't work without step one because if you're not showing up to the charts, you know, bed made, you feel a little refreshed, you freshened up, like you're getting ready, like it's your job. This is your job, right? This is your job that we're talking about. So you want to make sure that you're showing up properly. Now, number three, that is properly executing on your edge. Now, this is something that I struggle with because I'm not doing number one all the time. I'm not properly showing up. So my focus may not be there. Like this week, I ended up taking a trade that hit my 1-to-1, but I set it for a 1 to 1.5. And I was like, bruh, it already hit. And then it started spiking back up. And yeah, this was a sell, of course. And it ended up hitting the 1 to 1.5. It never lost. But I got out because I was like, yo, my TP already hit, but I just didn't set the right one. And that was unfortunate. And then another focus issue that I had was on Friday with silver. I literally looked at it and I was like, yo, the trade's happening. So I got in real quick, but it wasn't even happening. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, I don't know. I don't know. Like sometimes your focus just isn't always there. So you want to do what you can to focus greatly. And that's why number one is so important. But let's get right into number four, y'all. So number four is preparing to show up again. Now, this is very important because trading is a big mental game and you don't want to get too high or you don't want to get too low. So, when it comes to showing up again, what I personally do is journal on the day, journal on my trade, and I ponder and I write about the five fundamental rules of trading, the truths actually that I learned in trading in the zone, which is that anything can happen. You don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. So, yes, anything can happen. I'm trying to think. You don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. An edge is just a higher probability of one thing happening over the other. Every trade is unique. And then there's a random distribution of wins and losses for every single edge. So I ponder on all of those. And let's just talk about one, for example. When I say anything can happen, and I just took a trade that lost, right? I'm pondering on it. I'm like, with this trade, it truly shows that anything can happen. I ended up taking this trade and it lost, but that doesn't really matter because I don't know what the traders were thinking in the market. I just took my edge. That's what I could do. I couldn't control it. And from there, you can't control what the people that are in the market are doing. You don't know if they think it's too high or too low, but you just take your probability. So anything can happen, and I accepted that, and that's why I accept this loss. And then for another example, you don't need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money, right? And I'll say, I don't need to know what's going to happen next. With this trade, I did not need to know what was going to happen. I just needed to know that my edge was present. And from there, I just kind of ponder on that a bit more, try and have some more thoughts. And I'm like, yeah, with this trade, I didn't need to know what was going to happen. And I don't need to know what's going to happen for the next trade. And for, the truth that every moment in the market is unique, I can just say, this moment will never happen again. This trade is independent of every single other trade. And since there's a random distribution of wins and losses, you see how all the truths connect. Now, this number four is super important, and that's what I've been doing. And I think that's a big reason why I've been able to take trades that go with my plan consistently. But I'm not properly executing on them because of a focus issue, right? And we're learning, man. We're gonna get better, and making sure that you just stay aligned with the truths of the market helps you understand that you're not the one in control. You're just in control of taking your edge. You're not in control of when you're gonna make X amount of money because you took your edge. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta take it over a big series of events, right? Take it over time and let it work out. Now that those are the four. Those are the four. Prepare to show up again. And on the weekends, even doing things like this where I'm reviewing my trades or back testing, that is all part of preparing to show up again and reading Trading in the Zone and making sure that I rewatch my YouTube videos with my trade recaps. And hopefully somebody else can watch them too and find them beneficial and just be like, yeah, like I kind of dealt with that too. But enough of the rambling. Those are the four layers of trading. Thank you guys for watching and make sure that you apply these four layers the best you can and you will see success. And I'm going to do my best to do the same thing and we'll just see what the results are.